What up, nerds? Welcome back to the Nerdy Narrative. My name is Leslie Smith, and today on the channel I am going to be sharing about my reading experience of The City of Marble and Blood by Howard Andrew Jones. This is the second book in the Chronicles of Hanevar series, which is a sword and sorcery fantasy series inspired by the Battle of Carthage and the legendary war general Hannibal. Now, to talk about the second book in the series, I do need to start with the first book, which is Lord of a Shattered Land, which I read a few months ago, gave it 5 stars, was so excited to continue the series. In the first book, we meet our main character, Hanevar, and this story begins with just this one man, this one war general who survived the Dervan Empire completely wiping out Hanevar's home city of Valanis. The Dervan Empire did not just conquer the Valani people, they really tried to wipe them off the map. After they looted the city, they destroyed the buildings to the ground, they put salt on the field. They took this conquest to the extreme. Now, most of the people were slaughtered. Around 1,000 or so Valani people did survive, but they were sold as slaves around the different parts of the Dervan Empire. Hanevar has decided his life's mission is to set his people free. That's what he sets out to do in this book. What begins in book 1 as one man's mission is taken up in book 2 with some of the friends and allies, unlikely allies, that Hanevar made in the first book. The first thing I'd like to talk about regarding this series is the way that it's told. He uses a narrative style called sequential storytelling, which is a format of storytelling that combines different stories into one single unit. So it's almost like each chapter is a short story, but the short stories all feature Hanevar. It's all regarding his overall mission to free his people, and it's constantly moving forward. What makes each chapter and story different and unique and a sequential storytelling format is the setting changes, the protagonist, and the conflicts. My method for reading these 2 books was to read 1 chapter per day, or sometimes it would take me 2 days because some of the chapters were a little longer than others. Just as I knew I would after reading and loving and giving 5 stars to the first book in this series, I had a great time with The City of Marble and Blood. Now, you may be curious what was different about book 2 than the first book and why I still enjoyed it just as much as the first one, even though it's the second in the series, had the same type of format, still adventures, is that the character development and growth of Hanevar and the people he was working with seemed to be more personal, and you got to learn a lot about the depth of Hanevar's character as a man. I have always been a character-driven reader. I love people. I love learning about people, seeing what makes them different from me, learning about what drives them, the things they enjoy, what they believe in, and why. I love that sort of thing, so it's no surprise that that's the kind of thing I gravitate toward in books, character-driven narratives. But on the other side of that, what I really enjoyed about book 2 is watching Hanevar use tactics and strategy that he used to employ as a war general into freeing people, because he's having to get really crafty now. Rumors of the things that Hanevar pulled off in the first book are running rampant, just like wildfire through the Dervan Empire. The Dervans still don't know that Hanevar has survived when they had their initial conquest of Valanis. His goal is to get all of his people freed before that information gets out, if it has to get out at all. He just wants to get his people free, live on a piece of land somewhere where no one knows they are, whatever he can do to not have the Valani people be seen as a threat again by the Dervan Empire. So Hanevar and his allies have to get really crafty with their schemes, and that was so much fun to just see what they were going to come up with, what parts they were going to play, what disguises they would come up with. Howard Andrew Jones did a really good job putting in some great humor in this one to balance out that danger that was there, because I mean, Hanevar is literally right under the nose of his biggest enemy in this one. I love the blend of action, adventure, strategy, just the political maneuverings, and magic. There's always an interchangeable use of magic and illusion all throughout these two books. It was too good. It was just too good. In my opinion, that's the one element that got better from book 1 to book 2 was the magic system. Friends, I'm telling y'all, this series is so underrated. I don't know why people are not talking more about the Chronicles of Hannivar. I'm gonna do my best to keep talking about it, get you all to pick it up. If you are a sword and sorcery fan in particular, this is a series I think you will absolutely love. If you like historical fantasy, like I mentioned, it's the retelling of the great legendary war hero Hannibal in the Battle of Carthage. If you would give this series a chance, I think you would love it just as much as I did. That's the extent that I can go to talking about the City of Marble and Blood, since it is book 2 in a series. I would absolutely recommend both books in this series. They're gorgeous covers, published by Baen Books. Book 3, I do believe, is going to be out in October of 2024, so you've got plenty of time to get these two books worked in. I would definitely recommend my method for reading this series, where you read one story per day, or perhaps over a couple days, because a few of these are pretty long chapters. I hope you do decide to pick it up. You'll definitely have to let me know what you think about the series. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one.